Hello, welcome back to Zap Diabetes. Today I gotta do a video I had to think long and hard about doing. I had a hard time deciding whether to do this or not, but for the good of the diabetic community or the Medtronic insulin pumper community, I felt compelled to do this. So, as everyone knows, Medtronic uses a blood test meter, the Contour Next, to sync with their insulin pumps. The challenge to these meters, which are awesome meters, I mean, we use them to sync with our insulin pump, which is fantastic. Obviously, it's got the USB, so it syncs not only the insulin pump, syncs to your computer. Syncs the insulin pump information as well as the blood testing results to your computer, which is really quite great and fantastic. Obviously, the battery's built in, it charges, it's nice and sleek. It's highly accurate. I can't say enough awesome things about this blood test meter, so I'm very happy with it. I've also used a blood test meter from, well, I shouldn't say this company. Zap Diabetes Care is the current company. Before that was Bayer, before that it was Miles and Ames, and I don't know if Ames and Miles were the same company, but those were the manufacturers of the glucometer 1, glucometer 2, glucometer 3, Contour. So they've been doing it a very long time. And I had a grandparent who worked for Miles, and so that's why I started out with those. I have used some others in the past as well, but majority of my diabetes life I tend to use this company's testing strips, whether that be Bayer or Essentia or Miles. So, long-term user. But the other day, went to pick up my scripts for my Contour Next, and the price had gone up. And I do use the coupon that comes in the box. When you get the pump, you get a coupon to make your co-pays lower. So my test strips went up $40 a month. I'm doing a monthly thing. I don't want to do mail order. It's a complicated story. Everything's a hassle when you're diabetic. I did have to get a prior authorization to get these test strips because my insurance prefers One Touch by LifeScan. But the problem is that obviously doesn't sync with my meter unless I use, or my pump, unless I use a really old dated meter, which I have one I think of, and I have two ones that have a cracked screen. But it's really dated. I can't even tell you how accurate it'd be. I think at this point we're pushing 10 years old for those meters, those One Touch meters that synced with the old Paradigm pumps. So, not a good thing to use. Okay, so here's the deal with these for me. I have United Healthcare. I have OptumRx. Don't like throwing anybody under the bus, but here's the story with that. They prefer Medtronic for the insulin pump company, which is a great decision. Well, there shouldn't be a decision. We shouldn't be forced to pick one product over the other based on what the insurer prefers, but that's the world we live in. So, insulin pumps preferred by United Healthcare, but they do not prefer Contour test strips at all. They obviously, like I said, prefer LifeScan. I feel that a lot of companies are like that, and I know in Indiana it's almost impossible to find an insurance that wants you to get anything other than One Touch. Sometimes AccuCheck, but One Touch is the number one thing. And I've had somebody verbatim tell me, oh, it's impossible to get anything if you live in Indiana other than One Touch. But I do know, I think there's some Indiana insurances that do take AccuCheck. It is made, well, they have offices here in Indianapolis, as did Bayer at one point. They had some in Mishawaka up north Indiana. Yeah, again, had to have that pre-auth That took me actually 4 months to deal with the insurance company, getting the prior authorization, it going to the right department, and then finally approving it. Like, I think 4 months, which is ridiculous to have to wait that long. It's lucky I had a stockpile of test strips, but mind you, I go through all this and I fill it with the coupon, and I think when I fill it, the insurance says it's like $77, but the coupon knocks it down to $35. Fantastic. A little bit more than what the one touch would cost me, $25 for the month for that, $35 for Contour. It's worth that $10 a month to sync with my insulin pump. So I'm doing that. So get there this time to fill it, and it's $108. With the coupon, I think it goes down to like $75, $78 a month, something like that, with my insurance. Now, at that point, I think, okay, this is wrong. Well, I go into the pharmacy after going through the drive-thru to pick it up. I go in with my 2 children, which kind of stinks because I need test strips desperately. And I'm like, here's my coupon, something's wrong here. And they're like, oh no, you know, this is what the insurance and the coupon and all that, this is what it'll pay, you know, it's $78 or whatever. So I had to pay it because I need my test strips. I call my insurance a day or two ago and talk with them on the phone, and they tell me that they evaluate the tiers of copay not only in January but also in July. So they decided to raise the tier. So now I'm guessing that Contour Next is a tier 3. One touch would be a tier 1. So somebody up there made it even more difficult to get the test strip that syncs with the pump that they prefer. They prefer, mind you. So this is really wrong. So I can't just blame the insurance company though. So who's really to blame? Is it my insurance company? Is it Zap Diabetes Care for not negotiating a better deal with said insurance company? Is it LifeScan, who makes one touch, or Johnson & Johnson, whatever, because they're trying to corner the market with their test strip? You know, or, you know, is it Medtronic for dealing with the insurance company, making them the #1 preferred pump with my insurance, and then not going to bat for Essenzia's testing strips? My belief is probably a little bit of all of the above. These companies are fighting to get money, and us as diabetics are going to suffer because of it, which is wrong. Now, does it matter? Is it going to matter as much what testing strips I use? Say I'm on pens or injections? Probably not. I'm going to use a one touch. I'll be real with you. I probably would. I mean, $25 a month, whatever the copay is, that's fantastic. However, I'm using a preferred pump. I think I should have access to the preferred test strips at a reasonable rate. And $35 was fine. Now I'm talking $75 a month. Just to put that in perspective, I didn't even think about this before. Somebody, I'm not going to tell you who because I don't want to throw them under the bus. Somebody told me, check out Amazon for Contour Next test strips. I have. I've seen them as low as like $27 for 100 that I could buy on Amazon, which is less than what my insurance is wanting me to pay, which they want me to pay $108 a month, versus I'm talking I need 200 test strips a month, so there I'm talking less than $60 versus $108. Now granted, I could use the coupon, knock it down to $75. I'm still saving, over $15 for buying it without insurance. Something is wrong with that, whether it's wholesale or not. I have health insurance. I'm paying for a good plan. I'm working my full-time job. It should be taken care, it shouldn't be that way. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. I shouldn't get a better deal buying it without my insurance. So, you have to fight to get what you want in this world. So, unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It's 2017. We should have test strips that sync with an insulin pump if we have one, and we shouldn't have a problem getting it. I know that everybody out there is probably going through the same rigmarole, getting their insulin pump, getting their test strips, getting things like that. And I'm not the only one. You know, sometimes, I like to feel like, I feel like I'm different than everyone else, but the truth of the matter is, no matter who you are, black, white, gay, straight, transgendered, whatever, it doesn't matter. The test strips, the insulin pump, all the same rigmarole goes to every single one of these people. Doesn't matter. So, I'm gonna write a letter. I know that they'll probably laugh at me, but I'm gonna fight. And I challenge Ascensia Diabetes Care and Medtronic to work together at dealing with insurance companies to make sure that we don't have to go through this. And I challenge the insurance companies to actually realize when they approve, a decision that this is what's preferred. How are we going to author, or how are we going to give exceptions? Or maybe if, a person's on this insulin pump and we see that, we should make this a different tier. Or maybe we should find a way to price this better. You shouldn't be on the worst tier. There's a lot of people paying more than $75 a month for a drug. Don't get me wrong. But, every dollar matters to me. I have 2 kids. I went through a separation. I work retail. I can't be paying hundreds of dollars, half my paycheck in medical bills, because I'm already giving up 30% of it for my health insurance with my 2 kids. So, and I know that I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. So, that's my challenge. I'm sorry to sound frustrated. Again, I thought about not doing this video, but, I like this meter. I like these test strips. I think they're fantastic. If you're not using them and you have a Medtronic pump, I highly recommend finding a way to do so at an affordable rate. If nothing else happens to me, would I buy them on Amazon to save money? Yes, I would. I think I should be able to get a better deal than what I'm buying them for without my insurance, but it is what it is. And I'm glad I have the opportunity to try to get it cheaper. So I recommend fighting the fight, getting what you know is the best thing for you, following through, and let me know what challenges you've had getting Contour Next test strips and or your insulin pumps. I've heard some stories from some of you, and let me know. I would be happy. I would love to hear if any of you have Contour as a preferred test strip, or how you save money on Contour. You can feel free to comment down below. Please feel free to reach me on Twitter at KristenSteps, as well as, if you haven't yet liked and subscribed this video, if you know people that are fighting to get Contour test strips, share this video. I'd love to have new insight from them as well. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.